So you're putting your offer together on your dream home and there's multiple offers. What matters the most and how do you win? Most sellers, of course, it's a no-brainer that one of the first things that matters to them is bottom line. So that comes down to price, closing costs, agent commission. What's the bottom line to the seller? What's their net takeaway? That is usually the thing that sellers care about the most, but not the only thing. They're also going to look at what's the likelihood that they're going to actually get that money. So how many contingencies are in your offer, or how simple are your terms? The easier it is for an agent to explain the offer to a seller, the more appealing it's going to be to them. So if there's this contingency, that contingency, this contingency, that contingency, it may not kill your deal, but the less contingencies there are for a listing agent to explain to the seller, the easier it's going to be for the seller to accept. Now, if you don't have a financing contingency, either you're paying cash or you're waiving your financing contingency, and if you don't have an inspection contingency, you're not protecting your right to back out of the contract with your earnest money based on inspection results. Waiving those two contingencies is the most powerful thing you can do in terms of simple terms. Now, apart from bottom line and simple terms, every seller is an individual person and they may have specific needs you can cater to, and one of the most common ones is going to be closing date and possession. Some sellers are going to want to close ASAP, and being able to close in 1 or 2 weeks may be a game changer. Other sellers may want to close in 1 to 2 months, and even other sellers may want to have a weekend, a week, or a month after closing to move out. Let's say they have a home that they're building, but they really need to sell this one now, but they need another 2 to 3 months before they can move into this home. If you can offer to close at their preferred date, but give them a month or two to lease the property back from you, and you're the only buyer who has offered that because you're the only one who has asked about the seller's particular situation, that could make you the winning offer just because you asked about the seller's unique needs. And then the one last thing that's often missed, most people don't see this happening, is how the offer is written up and presented to the listing agent. What does the listing agent think about the buyer agent who's sending them that offer? Is the offer nice and clean, or is it scribbled all over and things crossed out and fixed? Is there an approval letter attached to the offer? Is the offer sent in a professional manner, both in an email and with a phone call explaining the offer? If there's a pre-approval letter attached to the offer, is the lender copied on the email sending it to the listing agent? And maybe even the lender gives the listing agent a care call. These are all little professional touches that can be added to give the listing agent a really good idea that this is a buyer that we want to work with. And they may even mention to the seller, hey, we've got these 5 offers and they're all very similar, but I have a really good feeling about the professionalism and the level of communication that's coming off from this particular buyer and their agent. So these are all things you can do to make your offer stand out when you're competing against multiple other offers.